Final meeting of the season in the Western Cape, and 2 to go after the 7 races. 7 only from Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on this Tuesday. But let's roll back. How great was Sunday at Hollywoodbets Greyville? The Gold Cup meeting has come and gone. All the big races are now decided, and now the Equus panel will be sitting down and deciding who gets the silverware. That'll be from Hollywoodbets Greyville on the 14th of August. Let's finish the season strongly. And on that subject, don't forget to like and subscribe to all our social media channels, all the race coast and all the various options that you have, whether it be for Perfectly Placed, whether it be for preview shows like this, or like the ones that are done down in Durban, whatever the case may be. Like, subscribe, support, and tell us what you think. Don't be too harsh though. Let's go through this card. As mentioned, it's 7 races. I wouldn't describe this meeting as something that gets the pulse flowing, but with that said, every race meeting is an opportunity, and we'll try and take this opportunity with both hands. 1:05 is when the meeting gets underway. Right, let's kick off with what is probably the race of the day. The Hollywoodbets Kenilworth welcomes you Juvenile plate. They go 1,200 meters. At the time of recording, there is no betting available, so we are taking a couple of stabs and a couple, well, not necessarily guesses, but hopefully some educated opinion here. And as mentioned, I think this is the race of the day, with all the rage fresh off running in 2 feature races, and potentially a horse who's likely to be feature raced in the coming months in the form of number 7 Saudi Cat. I think those are the 2 horses to focus on. Let's have a look at that run that all the rage put up last time out behind Roland Garros. That was in the Langeman trial race where he put up a big performance. This horse is a half brother to Lapulga. The mare Gildan Minaret was trained by Mike de Kock, and she was tough as nails, was Gildan Minaret. Real trier on the racetrack, and I think all the rage is going along the right way. He's an exciting horse as a 3-year-old going forward. He turns 3 obviously in a few days time. I think Aldo de May and Candice Bass could be in for a good day. They're finishing the season very strongly indeed, and I love the penultimate start at feature race level in the Winter Nursery when finishing 3rd behind Dreamworld, and I love the last run even more. There was talk, there was support for him when starting off at 9 to 10 and going down narrowly by Roland Garros. There were the likes of Randolph Hurst in that race and a couple of other highly thought of individuals, and I think he acquitted himself very nicely and put up a lovely performance. So he'll be the one that they all need to beat. He does set the standard on those 2 performances, but what Saudi Cat did on debut was seriously encouraging. Blew them away in good style. Gavin Larena, champion jockey-elect, takes a ride for Vaughan Marshall, and made what I think is a nice horse, Chance Encounter, look pretty ordinary. The expectations were fairly low on debut for number 7 Saudi Cat, but the way that he ploughed through the soft and made the field look pretty ordinary was seriously encouraging. Number 5 Spirit going along the right way. Does he have the class to match them? I don't know. I'll have my doubts, but I think that he'll run nicely in defeat, and World Trace is open to improvement. But is improvement enough? Is that going to be enough to see him get the job done? That remains a big doubt. So in the first race, let's keep it simple. Box the exact tip numbers 1 and 7. Race number 2 is the first leg of the pick 6. Just take note of that. Race Coast Maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,000 meters. Race 1 being the first leg of the bipod and of the place accumulator on this program. This race doesn't really excite too much. It's the opening leg of the pick 6, which I have tipped. The rerun that we're going to have a look at is that of Swift Serenity, trained by Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford. Callan Murray takes a ride, stepping along and finishing closer with each and every start. Penultimate start behind Between the Lines was a very good effort. Callan rode her last time where she wasn't disgraced behind a filly who I think is held in high regard and could be anything going forward in the form of Stormwatch. Run that race again. I think Stormwatch beats Swift Serenity exactly the same way, but I think that at least Swift Serenity is going along the right way, and I think that she could be upwardly mobile and progressive to a certain level. So in a race of this nature, she's the one that looks like she has the most going for her. Number 7, Penny's Choice, is worth another chance on debut. Should have a big chance in a race like this, but then she was comfortably beaten by Swift Serenity to the tune of 3 lengths. Is Vaughan Marshall's yard going to bounce back? It's a matter of time. Blinkers go on. Gavin Larena takes her out of this daughter of Vercingetorix, and she is definitely worth including on the first run. Like I said, the second run does leave a bit of a question mark, but we can forgive a couple of indifferent runs. And then the luckless Heritage Ridge, got to be one of the more unlucky horses on the country, actually. Chad Little on board for Paul Rees for the Turf Talk Syndicate. You'd kick yourself if you didn't have her in the day that she wins. She's going to win sooner rather than later. Can you have all the faith in the world in her? The answer is no, but one day she's going to get lucky and get the job done. The first timers make a lot of appeal, but thankfully, as far as the pick six is concerned, we don't need them. So we can go in with the race runners that we think can run into, will be the first ones home, and they're going to be 2, 3, and 7 in the first league. The rest of that pick six shows banker 2 by field, by 7 and 9, by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10, in by a field at the back. Race number 3 starts Jackpot 1. The Social Squad Maiden Plate, 1500 meters is the distance. I think the best bet on the card awaits. And the 4 number 2 Sierra Sagrada, Gavin Larena and Vaughan Marshall team up. Lovely last start behind Drickus. A little bit disappointing at the penultimate, but came back after a 2-month break and came back as a gelding. I'm not convinced the race was run to suit, had to switch in at a crucial stage, and also with the inclement weather that was around Cape Town at the time, came in probably underdone, whereas obviously the Null Platinum Racing horses had no issue with the work, and I think that is the thing, and the thing alone that turned over number 2 Sierra Sagrada last time out. I'm prepared to bank him in all bets. For those that might not be as brave, number 3 Red Wave figures into calculations. Richard Ferry and Justin Snaith team up, back from 69 days off the track. Good improvement from run 1 to run 2. The run to Happy Verse, although it might have looked ordinary, was a good effort. Happy Verse well above average, and he looks like he's set to run in some nice races in the coming months. And then last time behind 3 Tigers, also an equally progressive sprinter who has a lot to like about him. Again, the first timers, i.e. number 5 O Fellow by Futura out of the great O Susanna, could be a horse to consider. Aussie Noach on board for Justin Snaith, making a debut over 1500 meters is interesting. And then Craig Zaki takes her out at number 6 Look Ahead, also from a very strong female line out of the Trippy Mare Fantastic Trip, could also represent some sort of interest. But number 2 Sierra Sagrada, very hard horse to beat in race number 3. I'm going to put all my eggs into that basket and suggest that he'll win it. Race number 4 started Jackpot 2, race Cape Power by Hollywoodbets Middle Stakes over 1200 meters. A very tricky race. This is difficult to put a line through any of these. I think number 5 Gimme Lightning is the right place to start, though. JP van der Merwe is on board for Justin Snaith, dropping in class. I'd like to believe that if you can give weight to Empire State over 1100 meters at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth and finish a length and a half behind Empire State, a sprinter that I think has got a lot to come. I'm sure that he's got races like the Merchants, perhaps even next winter down in Durban, written all over him. Then you got to be some sort of force in a race like this, because he's so consistent. His rating doesn't drop. I remember his run in the Cape Merchants and the Differendal Cape Merchants when he was under sufferance and ran 3.5 lengths behind Outlaw King. He was a reserve, and Justin was throwing his toys, disappointed that this horse didn't get in. He couldn't get in, obviously, because his rating was lower than everyone else, but he eventually got in, and he actually made a lot of good ground at number 5 Gimme Lightning. He's the key horse in the race. Is he past the post? No. I think they all got some sort of claims. 1 Surge of Power, the good win last time. Greg Enion's got a string in good form. Gavin Larena down to 55.5. Consider number 2 Global State. Good to have Gavin Smith still with a couple of horses around. Keenan Stain takes her out. I don't think he's been disgraced, number 2 Global State. 3 Mauritius Kestrel at his best would win this race. Tongue Tie goes on. Let's see if that does the trick. Faree's on 4 Scottish, because I'm just going to go through them all. 6 Silver Crown, back from a break with blinkers on for the first time. Probably just going to tee him up for a race in the future. And what about number 7 Makazole? This horse is a 2-year-old and early 3-year-old. Was very, very promising indeed. He's got a lot to like about him, but he's completely fallen off a cliff. Yes, ignore the penultimate start in the Daily News 2000 when he was out to make pace and did it perfectly. 4-8 on 18. The best version of Makazole would be dangerous, but is he at his best at the moment? No. Number 5 Gimme Lightning looks like he probably is. Box Swingers 1 and 5 is going to be my play in race number 4, Surge of Power and Gimme Lightning. Race number 5, the Racing Club Class 5, fillies and mares over 1100 meters. I'm isolating this race to just 2 runners. 7 and 9 they will be. Let's have a look at Demoria's maiden win on the 24th of June when beating Chickasaw, and beating Chickasaw without any fuss whatsoever. Brushed her aside. Even the run to She's My World on debut, an excellent performance. Alda de Meye's on board for Candice Bass, and she's upwardly mobile. She's got a lot to like about her. She's a nice athletic filly. She's probably just a sprinter. I'd be surprised to see her sort of be effective over anything more than 1400 meters. She might be able to get that 1400 meter trip, but as far as she's sprinting like this and defeating the horses the way that she is, then she is very definitely on the right track, and I'd suspect that she's not going to be running in a class 5 ever again. She's got that weight for age concession of 9.5 kilos, which makes her able to run in a race like this for 59.5, and I think if she is going to be anything, and she doesn't have to be too good, then she ought to go well. On the other side of the spectrum, though, is Golden Tatiana, number 7, Gavin Larena on board for Glenn Cotson. Now, she started life with a bang. She was given a very hefty merit rating of a once high 97. She's down now to a 69. Now her rating's been dropping steadily, and she's been popping up on the radar time and time again, and she's probably just under delivering a little bit, but on the back of a £3 reduction with champion jockey elect on board, don't leave her out. This is the weakest that she's ever running. Probably unthinkable that she would be running at a level like this when she was a 2-year-old. She's rising 5. I don't know how many more runs she will have, but all in all, the initial version, the original version of number 7, Golden Tatiana, would make light of this field. And even if you go back to the end of summer when she was running 5 lengths behind My Sensation's gone to KZN and done some really good things. 3.5 lengths to the US of A. All those runs are very promising indeed. I don't think anything else has got the class or the progression to come that Golden Tatiana had, or the progression that Du Maurier has. And for that reason, only 2 horses for me. We'll go boxed exacts at number 7 and 9. Race number 6, Hollywoodbetsnet Class 4, 1600 meters is the distance. I have no real feel for this race. Despite that, there are a few horses that excite me. We're at that Class 4 level that I love, because we got those progressive horses that definitely have a lot more to come, and we got those solid handicappers. And this range, you don't really find too many droppers that are going in the wrong direction. If the older horses, they're solid at this level, and if they're the younger horses, they might have a little bit more to come. Let's have a look at Belcanto Dream on the 6th of May, when finishing second behind Pinot Grigio. Second run after a break on that occasion. A very good effort, stayed on very strongly at 66-1, and also carried a lightweight on that occasion. That was a Class 3 level, so he's down in class. Richard Ferree takes a ride for Eric Sand. Now, last time up, beaten 4.5 lengths by Tenpenny. At the time, you might have thought maybe a little bit underwhelming, but I think Tenpenny's going through the divisions. I think there's a lot to come from him, and he mildly excites me going forward. Grade 1 horse, no, but I think that there are wins to come from Tenpenny, and I think he's definitely a level above the opposition that he beat last time out. I think he's been very cleverly placed by Paddy Crayer. If you like number 6, Belcanto Dream, funny enough, number 8, Future Turn comes into the picture, but that's by virtue of the 4-kilo allowance from Safiso Bungane. So consider number 8, Future Turn, in all your bets. War Chariot from a deep draw last time, dropped in. Those tactics didn't work with War Chariot. I think that from a better draw, a kinder draw, that he'll be ridden a lot closer to the pace. So he's definitely worth another chance, number 7, War Chariot. He gives his heart and soul each and every time. He just tends to find a couple better, but he's always on the radar. And then number 3, King's Quest, is definitely climbing the ladder. Aldo takes a ride for Candace here. Number 2, Afrique, has also come out of the maidens and run a good race behind King's Quest, but I'm not sure he can turn that form around. Then there's my old friend Express Yourself. Once bitten, twice shy with him. Right, quartet. Now we're going to do things a bit differently here. We're going to triple float 3, 6, and 7 by the field. It's a bit of a brave play by my standards, but I think that those 3 horses will run into the top 3, and hopefully something at the bottom of the boards rather can fill a minor spot. Race number 7, the last race on the card, 25-5, Hollywoodbets Bright Future D Stakes. They go 1600 meters, and this is how we finish things off. Let's have a look at Midway, number 5, James Crawford and Louis Otwa team up. A fluent winner last time. He tried his best to shirk that, but I think that was the confidence-boosting victory that he needed. Been a long time between drinks. Handicapper had helped him along, got him close off a low 60, and came out of that hard-fought win with a £2 penalty. Now, the optics of the win aren't all that encouraging, because it looked like he kind of huffed and puffed and just got the job done in very unexciting fashion. But I think that's just the confidence that number 5 Midway needed. The old version of Midway, the Midway that was running some good races as a younger horse, I think would fit in very, very promisingly here, and possibly even a division better. If the confidence of getting a win under the belt does him a world of good, I'll make him a very hard horse to beat. I think if he doesn't win though, he'll go very, very close. But I'm keen to keep number 5 Midway on side and recommend that he is the horse to beat. It's one of those races, if you look past him, it becomes an absolute swirl. We spoke to Paul Reeves for Perfectly Placed. Probably better at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Not that he runs badly here at HQ, but I think he'll be looking for the country course, which we're about a month away from getting to. Will St. Bridget run after being carted to run on Saturday? That all remains to be seen. Gold Index been a little wayward of late. Sean Veal on board for Peter Wrench, and even Miller Strength has got to be somewhere on the premises. But number 5 Midway, I think that last one's going to do him a world of good, and he'll visit the winner's enclosure again. So that's a wrap. Those are the 7 races. Come and join us. The forecast is good. Funny enough, everyone promised doom and gloom through winter, but it has been a little bit gloomy, but certainly no doom, and leading into this meeting, it shouldn't be the case either. So come and join us on a Tuesday at the end of the season as we bid farewell to what has been a wonderful 2024-25 campaign from the 1st of August all the way through to the 31st of July. Busy week coming up as always, racing all 7 days from here, including starting the season under the lights at Hollywoodbets Greyville. That'll be good fun come Friday. From myself, Alistair, and the rest of the team, enjoy what's to come, and we'll start off next season with a bang as always, with lots of dreams to be realized. Goodbye.